"70 years ago this month, World War II broke out when Nazi Germany invaded Poland. Pope Benedict and Vatican officials have been recalling the death and destruction set in motion by the invasion and finding lessons for the modern world. I'm John Thavis, Catholic News Service Rome Bureau Chief, and we'll look at the anniversary of the war today on the Vatican Report.
And I'm Carol Glatz, CNS Rome correspondent. On this 70th anniversary at the start of a brutal conflict that left 60 million people dead, Pope Benedict said the world must never forget the Holocaust and the other barbarities perpetrated during World War II. Now, on a parish visit to the Italian city of Viterbo, the Pope said this memory should motivate people to help end all the world's current conflicts. The Pope said the key to future peace was teaching young generations a culture and a lifestyle based on respect, solidarity, and love. Now, he said that world religions also play a critical role in promoting this kind of culture and in combating violence and extremism.
The Pope, of course, is German, and when the war broke out, he was just a 12-year-old boy. 4 years later, however, at the age of 16, he was drafted into the German Anti-Aircraft Corps, and he served for about a year. When the war broke up in 1944, the Pope deserted his post like many German soldiers and spent some time in a U.S.-run prisoner of war camp. So this is someone who experienced the war firsthand. And a few years ago, meeting with young people here in St. Peter's Square, he explained how witnessing the brutality of the Nazi regime actually led him to become a priest.
Now, a lot of people at the Vatican also think it's highly significant a German Pope came after the Polish Pope, John Paul II. These were two men on two different sides of the battle lines during World War II. And as Pope, they were both extremely vocal in their anti-war stance. Now, when Pope Benedict visited Auschwitz in 2006, he said it was very difficult and troubling for him as a Christian and as a Pope from Germany to come and speak at a place where such unprecedented mass crimes had been committed.
The Vatican has a long institutional memory, and throughout the past month, Vatican media have been spotlighting the speeches, messages, and radio broadcasts that were made by Pope Pius XII in the run-up to the war in 1939. It is not well known, but 6 months before the war broke out, Pius XII mobilized his diplomatic corps in a behind-the-scenes effort to push for peace. The Pope was actually initially optimistic about the results of his effort, but as the summer dragged on, it became painfully clear to him that a terrible conflict was coming.
And in fact, still today, there's a lot of debate about Pope Pius XII's actions during the war. Church historians have defended his quiet efforts to save Jews and other people who were targeted by the Nazis. But there's some Jewish groups that say the Pope didn't do enough. Now, actually, it wouldn't be hard to point the finger at a lot of people, saying they didn't do enough either. Just a few weeks ago, the Vatican newspaper had a very strong critique against the Allied governments, saying they had failed to help European Jews, even though they had detailed information about Germany's extermination program.
What is interesting in recent weeks is that even while Vatican officials have defended Pius XII as a prophetic figure who was ignored by those in power, they have avoided mentioning his sainthood cause. Carol, you and I remember that last year, the Vatican's Congregation for Saints' Causes unanimously recommended that Pius XII be beatified. But Pope Benedict put the cause on hold, and he asked that both supporters and critics refrain from pressing the issue. That's something that Vatican officials seem to be taking seriously. I'm John Thavis.
And I'm Carol Glatz, Catholic News Service.